Hi guys, hello and welcome to another episode of The Night Watchman, a cricket channel where me and Suam discuss about various cricket topics. And today we have a very special guest with us, joining us all the way from UK. We have Sani with us, and he's here to talk to us about English cricket. And we are very glad that we could get him here. He has a YouTube channel of his own. He has a Instagram channel of his own. So if you guys want to follow it, please do, and we'll put the link in our description. So please go ahead and follow it. So, Sunny, my first question to you: what do you make of the disastrous performance of the English team in the World T20 Championships? I wouldn't say disastrous. I'm just saying disastrous because they failed to qualify for the final and
Yes.
because they couldn't win the final. Considering the team that they have on paper, it's definitely the
Mhm.
strongest team in world cricket. So, what do you have to say about that?
The first thing we have to say is the famous song, Mocha, 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 Mocha. Honestly,
Of
honestly,
course, you were gonna go there. Of course, you were gonna go there.
I can't believe I when I was watching that game against New Zealand, I was thinking, yes, New Zealand are on the ropes. England can win this match. But then England just had to do what England love doing, and it is bottling big games sometimes. And that's exactly what happened. It was a bottle.
Yeah.
But it's weird because England had a very good tournament, don't you think? They
Yeah.
won a lot of games,
Yes.
but when it came to the nitty gritty, where the fine moments matter, they lost, and it was a shame. But on to the next one. That's how I've got to see
On to the next one. You went on to play the Ashes, I think.
it. Oh,
So
God,
you
that was even worse. That was even worse. That was even worse. But the thing is, I said that Australia were going to win probably 3-1 or so. So I wasn't surprised. Australia, very good team at home. Only India have beaten Australia recently because India have a
Yeah.
very good team. But England's team isn't as good as people think.
Yeah. I think one of the things that has to do with it is the fact that because India have beaten Australia in Australia twice now, we have started to underestimate Australia a bit. Australia on paper and even in practicality, like it is still a very strong team. Like
Hmm.
we underestimate it because we have beaten them twice, but no other team has done it. So the fact that Australia beat you 4-0 didn't surprise me all that much. But yeah, I mean I
Yeah.
mean I was happy.
Of course you were. But the
Yeah,
thing is, with Australia, with when India beat them for the first time,
yeah.
I mean, yes, India did very well because India hadn't beaten Australia in Australia ever. But the second time when India won, I was amazed, especially after the first test when India got skittled for what was it, like something like 58 or something?
36.
36, that's it, right.
36.
So India did amazing. I was watching those games. I was watching it with my friends up here in England, and we wanted obviously India to win. But yeah, that was amazing. And India played so well. But you're right. Everyone underestimates Australia, but they're still a very good team. No one's beating Australia in Australia unless your name's India. So yeah.
yeah,
Chalo, that's good.
nice. But
And
okay.
then yeah, you went on to lose the T20I series and the Test series in West Indies as well. So your misery wasn't put to rest by that Ashes. You went on to lose another series as well.
I think the Test series, especially in the West Indies, was the start of the end of the current era of English cricket because I come on boys, West Indies aren't the team they used to be, and losing in West Indies is not good. It's not good.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So my next question is: were you surprised that Anderson and Broad were dropped from the West Indies series because they weren't rested as such for the West Indies series? They were like they mentioned it that they have been dropped from the team. So were you surprised with that?
I was surprised they were dropped. Yes, Soham. The only reason I think that is because in Australia, they weren't playing every game. They were still chopping and changing. When it
Yeah.
came to West Indies, yes, I know the pitches are very different, but they're your two best bowlers. You have to take them at least. You might not need to play them, but you have to play them. It's like Soham. I have to ask you a question. If India went to somewhere in anywhere in the world, they're going to take Bumrah 100%, even if he
Yeah.
doesn't play,
Yeah.
right? And they
Yeah.
probably will take Ashwin as well because Ashwin's an amazing bowler. I'd say those two probably India's best bowlers, Ashwin and Bumrah, right?
Yes.
You're going to take them. You may not play them, but you have to take them. Why England didn't take Broad and Anderson? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So about that, I'm not comparing Ishant Sharma with Anderson and Broad, but I have certain, very strong feelings about Ishant Sharma being dropped from the squad. I do not like it. Honestly, he has done pretty well for us in overseas tours, at least in the
Mm,
past, whatever in the Kohli era. Let's just say Kohli era, and
mm,
the fact that he's not being given chances now because Mohammad Siraj has come up. I mean, you have given such a long rope to people like Ajinkya Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara, like because they were certain key members of your team. I feel that Ishant
mm.
Sharma also deserves that, but yeah, I mean, he's getting dropped, and I do not like it. I just wanted to put it out there.
No, I agree. Suryansh, I agree with you. I think Ishan
Yeah,
Sharma is a great bowler, especially overseas, like you
yeah,
said. And
yeah.
also as well with Anderson, especially Anderson, he does get wickets, don't get me wrong, and he's England's best ever bowler and all that. But recently, if you check his stats in the second innings, his averages are really bad. I think his
Mm,
average is
mm,
something like 40 or 50, which is bad. Like, come on, that's pretty bad. And the other thing with Anderson, I understand why he might not have been played in a few games because obviously the conditions need to support Anderson in order for him to be a good bowler. But in the same rate, you have to take your best bowlers. Ishant Sharma is still one of India's best bowlers, regardless of if Siraj is doing well or not. So you have to play him.
yeah.
Obviously, I think it probably goes Bumrah, um, and then I think maybe
Shami,
Shami, and
yeah,
then Sharma. I'd say that's how I think the order goes for India, and
yeah.
then probably Siraj. So that's how I see it personally.
Sight, smell, touch, sound, taste, all blended. Five finger death punch, leave lives ended. Fuck what's trending, don't need it, I trim this, I don't leave evidence smooth like burnt fingers.